I'm live. I yawned right when it went live. I just finished watching the Clark sisters. So I will be doing a review. Tookie was a fool. I was just like, girl, you a fool. You foolish. Making all the wrong choices. Your mama right. All you know how to do is make good music and bad decisions. Your mama ain't never lied. Hi. Hi, Julian. Hi, Alexia. Hi, Roderick. Thursday live stream. It's Thursday, right? It's Thursday, right? It's Thursday. Yes. Hi, Queen. Hi, Thursday. Hello. I am yawning. Woo. Excuse me. Hi. Hi, to be continued. Hi, Tony. Hi, Nicole. I don't have a time period, Julian. I don't normally do it at a certain time. I just do it whenever. And I was watching the movie, so it's a little bit later, I guess. When I was little, I thought the Clark Sister was a group in my hometown because my grandmother was in a song group. Hi, Savannah. It is, right, Roderick? Yeah. Hi. Hi, Kayla. It's just a day, a new created day. Hi, Gary. I finally watched the Clark sisters. I took notes. I will be doing a review. No, I'm not going to talk about it because I'm going to be doing a review. I just wanted to let you know that I did watch it. I mean, I'll say that Twinkie was a fucking fool. I'll say that. But I did like it. I did like it. I'm going to review it though. I'm going to do a review. So I took a lot of notes. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about. So I'm going to do an in-depth review, I hope, next week. But I don't know. I did a review of Sugar, too, that I just haven't edited yet. Reviews take so long. They take so long because you have to, like, watch the thing or listen to it or read the thing, whatever. Take notes, go through your notes, decide how you feel. This is what I do. I don't just be like, it's great or it sucks 5 seconds later, you know. The Clark Sister was the Sunday morning cleanup soundtrack. Roderick said I'm a tease. The Clark Sister was a movie on Lifetime. Raise a Random Girl. Hi, Richie. That was probably the best movie I've seen on Lifetime in a long time. I will say that. Because Lifetime is known for, like, being the jankiest of janky. So I'm glad they didn't do the Clark Sisters janky. Because that just would have been sacrilegious. Hi, Eros. You're going to watch it tonight, Alexia. Hi, World Lover. It was so good, and you could tell all of the actresses were Black Americans. Misleading headline. Hi, Davey. What other shows am I watching lately? I'm watching The Expanse. I'm trying to catch up on The Expanse because I was, like, so far behind. I had only seen the first season, so I rewatched the first season, I watched the second season, and now I'm halfway through the third season. And then I'm going to watch the fourth, and I think they're greenlit for a fifth season, too. But that's mostly what I've been watching, is The Expanse. I also watched the first 2 seasons of Westworld, but I'm not watching season 3 because fuck Westworld. I'm over Westworld. We could talk about that. Bro, Queen, she was tweaking. Twinkie was definitely tweaking with those fucking decisions. Not once, but fucking twice. Like, what are you thinking? But, like I said, I'm going to address that in my review. There's some stuff that I'm going to say about family and business and entertainment, all that stuff. Because you guys know we've talked about this too previously on this channel. I can't think of the name of the video, but I'm going to find the video, and of course I'll include it in the link for in the description box for when I do the Clark Sisters review, where we were talking about, like, parents, like, pushing their kids. We talked about, like, Joe Jackson, obviously. We talked about Matthew Knowles. We've sort of gotten into that on this channel before. I'm so glad you watched it. I fucking love the Clark Sisters. Hi. Clark Sisters are a big part of Black American culture, R&B, and gospel. They did put their foot in it, it's true. I have not seen it, Kayla. No, what's Black Monday? I never heard of that. Why am I over Westworld? I'm over Westworld because number one, the writers are fucking goofy. Like, the writers of Westworld are so goofy. I have a theory that Jonathan Nolan, I think his wife, Lisa Joy. I have a theory that Jonathan Nolan is suffering from like little brother syndrome because he's the younger brother of Chris Nolan, who does like all the big, life changing movies like Inception and The Dark Knight, and he has this Tenet movie coming out. So I feel like Jonathan Nolan has like issues, and I think he's trying to like write. He's like, yeah, see, I can write too. I can write confusing shit just like my brother. Like, Chris Nolan also did like Memento with the dude with like the short term memory loss and like the confusing. Chris Nolan is known for like confusing timelines and all these things, and I kind of feel like with Westworld, Jonathan Nolan is trying to like prove something, but it's not working. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, you're not as talented as your brother. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe have Chris come in and write a couple guest episodes and show you how it's done, because the shit that you're writing is just sloppy and convoluted and overly confusing, and like you're just like doing too much. You're doing too much. Chris likes to creatively play with perspectives and narratives. Yeah, Jonathan literally seems like a little brother, like wearing his big brother's clothes, like trying out like Chris Nolan's techniques, but he's just not doing it he's not doing it the same. It's just not as clever and it's not as smart. And I also feel like Jonathan Nolan is like a super misanthrope, and it really, you can tell like he does not like people. And that's fine. A lot of people don't like people. That's fine. That's cool. But if you're going to like be so hard on the side of the robots, you have to like have some really good writing to like convince me. You can't just be like, people suck. That's it. Like, no, like write it. Write me something. The writing's not good. It's not solid. Let me get back to the chat because I got off a little bit there. The Expanse, yeah, The Expanse, and since I started watching The Expanse and Westworld basically around the same time, because I had never seen Westworld, so I started in season 1, and I had only seen season 1 of The Expanse, so I watched it again, and I'm now midway through season 3 of The Expanse, and it's way better than Westworld by a lot. It's a lot better. I watched Legacies on Netflix, and it was really good. World Lover. Hi, the boy in blue. Queen, twice! You hear me? Just messing up! Hi, Tony. I can't wait for the Clark Sisters review because, oh my gosh, this was an emotional roller coaster. Or it was an emotional roller coaster. Now, I will say one thing. That funeral scene, I was like, oh, this is a documentary now, because that funeral scene was real. That funeral scene was so real. Like, have you lost your mind? I know you're not acting like this at my mother's funeral. You know niggas love to say that. You know niggas love to say to their siblings, my mother said, bitch, we have the same mom. We have the same parent. Like, your mother said, you need to go wash some dishes. She your mother today. She was like, oh, is that a threat? Oh, try me and you'll find out. I was like, ooh, oh, it's real. It's really real. It's really real. That was a great scene, and it was great. It was great. The dialogue was really good. Black Monday is about the stock market crash. Don Cheadle and Regina Hall are in it. Okay, I'll check it out. Oh, you've been watching Little Fires Everywhere. Do you like it, Roderick? Hi, Christian. Hey, everybody. Hope everyone is okay, staying safe. Ingenue Ellis, Raven Goodwin, and Christina Bell deserve all of the awards. They was acting their asses off. I was just about to watch Should I Watch Westworld? Gary, you can watch season 1. Season 1 of Westworld is good, but it's almost like season 1. It's almost like season 1 was like a self-contained, complete story, and then they just didn't know where to go. And season 2 was a mess. And I watched the first couple episodes, or the first 2 or 3 episodes of season 3, which just came back on, and it's still a mess. And the writing is really, the writing is really goofy. Like, it's genuinely goofy. Like, there's a scene where, like, There's a scene where somebody has an axe and they like run towards a group of security guards with guns, and the security guards with the guns like turn and run away. It's like a cartoon. It's like ridiculous. It's like, am I really supposed to think like, why wouldn't they just shoot this dude? Like, stupid. And they write stuff like that, a lot of stuff like that. And I don't know if it's like deliberately trying to be funny. I don't know. It's dumb. They do a lot of dumb writing, like a lot of stupid writing on Westworld. Hi again, Jess Nickel. Memento with Guy Pearce, great film. Hi, Chris. Yeah, Chris Nolan likes to creatively play with perspectives and narratives. Raise your hand and go, you're trying to start a sibling bloodbath. That's all I can think every time I watch Westworld is that Jonathan Nolan is trying to prove something, and it's not being proven. Christina Bell played Twinkie. This was her first role. She and Ingenue ate up their roles. Ingenue is impeccable. Yeah, she has not had one bad role in my opinion. Hi, Mia. Give Ingenue Ellis all her flowers. HBCU and Brown University educated. She's one of the trained actors Blackbird said we don't have. There's a bunch of less talented celeb siblings that try to follow in their sibling footsteps. It never works out. I also, personally, let me also say this about Westworld. I love Westerns, you guys know this, and I also love a space Western. Like, I love Firefly, and I love Star Trek, and, you know, Serenity, and the first season of Westworld is very much all about, like, this technological clash between, like, Western and sci-fi and space. And it's just, like, if they're gonna, like, totally remove the West out of it, then it's also a little bit ridiculous, too. I don't know what they're doing. Oh, you don't think I would like Black Monday, Roderick? Hi, Mystery. Chris Nolan goes between realism and surrealism, and it's amazing. I am so hyped for Tenet. I'm really excited for Tenet to come out. Julie Mao, man, and they're finally. I'm in the middle of season 3 right now, Rizzy Random Girl, and they're finally like showing more of her backstory and like with her sister and stuff. No, I'm not watching Versus. What is Versus? Dr. Maddie, she's an icon and a legend. Got the girls together. Hello, Mimi. Little Fires Everywhere is pretty good. What is it about? I ain't got no shows to watch. Feel like I watched everything. Savannah. I like Little Fires Everywhere a lot. Carrie and Reese are doing great in the roles. Oh, look, Savannah just said, what is Little Fires Everywhere about? I feel like Reese has been playing the same character in every show she's been in for years now. That's the only thing that throws me off with Little Fires Everywhere. I haven't watched any of her shows. She was also in Big Little Lies, right? Wasn't that the name of the show with Shailene Woodley? I hate the fact that I like American Gods, but I'm a sucker for that kind of storytelling. You know, I can't stand that type of writing. I hate that convoluted type of storytelling. Gary, and it's so convoluted. And another thing about Westworld is that they deliberately make it convoluted because they got tired of, like, the people on Reddit and the fans figuring out the twists. So they got to the point where they're just like throwing twists in there just to try to confuse people. And they write shit that doesn't make sense. And then they will like happily say stuff like, we made this twist up the night before we shot it. So that means that there was no planning, there was no plotting. This doesn't fit in with anything you filmed before. Like, you just made up a random twist just to try to confuse people. Like, that's dumb. Like, that's stupid. That's whack. That's not good writing. And then they'll be like, haha, you guys would have never guessed. You would have never seen it coming. Is it because you just made it up? There's a twist in particular that I'm thinking of, but I don't want to ruin it for anybody that's watching. But there's a huge twist in particular that I have a huge issue with. And it looks like it's going to be a main plot point in season 3 of Westworld. And I'm just like, no, this is a plot hole. They have a lot of plot holes in Westworld because they will totally throw out all the rules of their world building at any moment to confuse people because they got tired of people on the internet figuring shit out. Hi, Redbird. Yeah, I seen Cowboys vs. Aliens in the theater with Daniel Craig and what's her name? Olivia Wilde. American Gods was good, but they got rid of Nancy, so I don't want to watch it no more. Like when Smallville unofficially became Metropolis. Tenet looks so good. I love Julian. She deserved better. Mommy! Please don't let him Her father was such a dick. Such a dick. What's Manifest? Little Fires Everywhere is basically about two moms of different races raising their children, and there is a conflict that leads to the burning of a house. That is a very bare bones description of it. Heard good things about The Expanse. Sounds like the themes it explores are interesting. I'm interested, but multiple seasons seems daunting sometimes. It's so good, Chris Vine. It's really good. They have it on Amazon Prime. It was originally on Sci-Fi, but then it got canceled. But then it got brought back. It's so good. So it's really good, and it's like really well paced and really well plotted and really well written. So like The Expanse has like triple the amount of shit going on in Westworld, but it's so clear and easy to follow. Westworld will have one thing Westworld is like on anime time. Westworld will have one thing happen, and it will take 5 episodes, and there will be like 3 deep fakes before it actually even fucking happens. You'll be like, really? Like, really? And the episodes are so long. You'd be like, it took 1 hour and 16 minutes for her to realize she was in a simulation? Like, really? Really? Okay. The Expanse is basically set at an unnamed point in the future where humans have colonized space. And it's been so long that basically humanity has evolved into like 3 separate strains. So you have Earthers, people that are actually born on Earth, that live on Earth, raised on Earth, and are from Earth. You have Martians, because we've set up a permanent colony on Mars. And those are the people that are born and raised on Mars. And then you have Belters, which are people that are not born and raised on any planet. They're born and raised out on the belt, which is just like a hodgepodge of like colonies, spaceships. Some of them are big, some of them are small, like rock hoppers. Like they're born and raised like in 0G. Like some of them like look weird. They're like all stretched out. And from being born and raised in like different places and like different atmospheres, they're all different. Like Earthers are like really strong and solid and have like dense bones from growing up in gravity. Martians are like really, really smart and technologically advanced, and they have this really advanced military and these like really advanced weapons. And the Belters are sort of seen as like the fucking scum of the earth, but like the Belters are the ones that like work out in space, and they like mine all the minerals, and they like mine all the like important shit that like Earth and Mars fucking need, but everybody treats them like crap. And so there's a lot of political tension between Earth, Mars, and the Belt, and people are basically trying to keep a war from coming, but some people want a war to come. That's just like the synopsis of like all the shit that's going on in The Expanse. And it probably even sounds like I just said a lot, but I really didn't, like, at all. Big Little Lies first season is good. Black Monday centers on a love triangle. Yes, the writing, I've never seen Game of Thrones, but I've heard that the writing on Westworld is similar to the writing on Game of Thrones. And in one of these, the episode 2 of season 3, they actually had a fucking cameo of the writers from Game of Thrones. Dan and Dave, whatever their names are, D&D, Dumb and Dumber, they like had a cameo with them in it. So I'm pretty sure those dudes are like working really closely with the Westworld people, and it fucking shows. Because the shit is trash. Westworld is a mess. Hi, Ambar. Hi, Rob. I hate plot holes and things that don't make sense. Olivia Wilde, yeah, that's her name. Oh, I didn't know that's what it was called. Yeah, I've been watching the live stream producer battles. I'm sorry, I didn't know that it was like fancy and had a name, versus. Yeah, I've seen some of them. I've seen some of them. Kerry Washington's mom is Jamaican. I think it's her mom. I know somebody that watched The Mandalorian. They said it was fine. They said the production values was really good. No, I have not seen The Boys, and people keep recommending it to me. Like, when you guys kept saying watch Umbrella Academy, and it took me like 8 months to watch it. I do want to watch The Boys. Yeah, hi, Vanity. Kerry Washington's mom is Jamaican, and her dad is DACS. Right. Hi, Mar. Hi, Vermilion Dynamo. It is anime time. Episode 2 of season 3 of Westworld, I literally said, I was like, this shit went on for over an hour and nothing happened. And then I was reading a review, and the reviewer also noted the exact same thing. The reviewer was like, only 15 minutes of the episode actually move the plot forward. The rest of it is just like people talking and like shit occurring again and again. Carrie's mom is Jamaican, her dad is Black American from South Carolina, and her husband is Igbo Nigerian. World Lover said. Yay for the Expanse. Like Dragon Ball Z, those battles taking like 6 episodes for no reason. That's exactly how Westworld is. And this season is only 8 episodes. They're going to spend like 4 or 5 episodes for like one thing to happen. And then the last 3 episodes, they're going to try to cram in mad shit. But it's going to be all out of order. It's going to be the end and then the beginning and then the middle. And then a flash sideways and some other shit to confuse you. And then at the end, all the people that say, I don't understand what happened, the writers and Evan Rachel Wood are going to get on Twitter and they're going to call the viewers stupid because this is exactly what they did for season 2. They're going to be like, and anybody that didn't understand it was just too dumb to watch our show. Okay, fine. We'll never watch your show again. Their season 3 premiere only had 900,000 viewers. It didn't even crack 1 million. That's what you get when you tell people they're too dumb for your dumb show. You're dumb. You're not Chris Nolan. Period. That's so tacky and egotistical. They ain't shit. And my ass falls asleep easily, so I need you to get to the point with these plots. I did watch Cowboys and Aliens in theaters. Or are you talking about something else, Mar? Westworld literally takes 4 episodes to finish a sentence between 2 characters. Roderick, you know how I feel. You know how I feel. You know how I feel. And the dialogue, oh my gosh, the dialogue. The dialogue in Westworld is so bad. Like, I have to have good dialogue. Just like how I was just saying the dialogue in the Clark Sisters was so good. Like how in that funeral scene where she said, I know you didn't act like this at my mother's funeral. Because even though they have the same mother, like that's how we talk, right? Like that's how we talk. That's something that we say. Like Black Americans, we say that, right? It was great dialogue. The dialogue in Westworld is so bad. It's so drawn out. It takes 4 episodes to finish one sentence. And they go on these monologues. Like, you can tell the writers do not like humans. They go on these monologues that are like, I woke up this morning, because Evan Rachel Wood has to talk with this accent. I woke up this morning and I looked out the window and I thought, it's a new world. And they don't deserve this world. We deserve the world. Not the humans. We're the new gods now. We're the new gods of this world. And I used to see the beauty in the world. She'll say the world about 18 times. And I used to see the beauty in the world. But now everywhere I look in the world, I see destruction and death. And the humans, they just don't deserve. Okay, the humans don't deserve it. Okay, all right. All right. Okay. We got it. And then the next episode, she will give another monologue. And it will be exactly the same. It will be exactly the same. The first episode of season 3, she gave this whole monologue before she killed this dude, right? She was like, do you remember me? He was like, no. She was like, you don't remember me? All the time we've spent together, I thought you would remember me. All those times you came to... I was like, bitch, he doesn't fucking remember you. Will you just kill him and get on with it? He doesn't fucking remember you. He doesn't remember you. And every time they say these violent delights have violent ends, I think of Twilight. Every single time, I think of fucking Twilight. I wish they could have picked a different fucking sentence for that, because that's all I think about is fucking, what was the second one? New Moon? That's the opening line of New Moon. And then they say it again a couple more times in Twilight. I'm just saying. That's how she fucking talks. I do want to watch The Boys, though. Where was I? Wait, where was I? Dragon Ball Z will have like 6 episodes of screaming and charging up. So will Westworld. Westworld will have 4 episodes of preparation to blow some shit up, and then they won't even show the shit blowing up on screen. They'll just like skip over to the next thing. Like the writing is real goofy. The Belters are working class. I have not seen The Love Witch. Yeah. Dumb and Dumber. Hi, Van Shoes. When I saw that cameo on Westworld, I dropped the show. It was trash anyways. Bye. Right. Like, why are they there? And the cameo that they were in Westworld, it was like a medieval. They were like in a medieval room. Like a Game of Thrones type room. Westworld and Game of Thrones is trash. HBO got to stop pushing these try-hard shows. I had to quit Westworld. I think HBO has a hard time keeping shows on point. True Blood, Game of Thrones, and apparently Westworld. It's because they don't know when to end. They don't know when to stop. Game of Thrones up until season 6 is good. Maybe. We could do a Beast Vape with The Expanse because of Naomi. She's a main character. I want to see The Boys too. The Boys is good, but prepare to be disgusted. Hi, Owen. Game of Thrones got real bad once they ran out of source material to adapt because D&D can't actually write anything. Who is in The Boys? Oh, did somebody put a spoiler or something? The Deuce. Oh, I did want to watch The Deuce. The Deuce had the guy from Moonlight that I really like. The light-skinned dude. Oh, Savannah, you liked it too? The Deuce was really good. A Flash Sideways. That's from Funny Farm. I don't know how many people have seen Funny Farm. Old Chevy Chase comedy from the 80s. It's like one of my favorite comedies. Why am I dragging the writers? Because they're terrible. The Westworld writers. I did like season 1, Queen of On. Hi, Sabrina. Yes, it's very pretentious. Exactly. The dialogue is so pretentious. Why would you insult your viewers? Have people not learned from Sleepy Hollow? Don't piss off your core audience. Everyone in Westworld talks like they're in a dream. You have 5 minutes before Planet Namek explodes. Drags on for 6 episodes. Oh, the Clark Sisters. No, the Clark Sisters is on Lifetime, Mar. I saw it on the online. I love the Clark Sisters so much. I enjoyed the movie. I wish it was a 2-parter. Now having seen this, I kind of want like a major motion picture because I feel like with the resources of a major motion picture, it could have been even better. And it was excellent. I really loved it. The Clark Sisters. It was great. Oh, you're talking about Westworld, Raise Your Cradle Girl. They think they write in the Matrix. I don't know what they think they doing. The Clark Sisters flowed. They carried us pretty much to the end. The monologue, because it's Westworld. Dolores was terrible from jump. Westworld writers think talking dry, slow, and with a bland color palette is prestige television. Right, Taylor? They think just because she's talking slow and taking these dramatic pauses, that means the dialogue is good. No. I canceled my HBO subscription. They swindled me. I'm just saying, Vanity. I watched Blade Runner yesterday, and even though Blade Runner had a lot of issues, the monologue that Roy gives before he dies, like, that's a monologue. And there's a reason why it's known as, like, one of the great monologues. It's not just because he was motherfucking talking slow in the rain. Like, the shit he was saying was profound and meaningful. Just because you're talking slow doesn't mean the shit you're saying is, like, actually profound. Dolores definitely has a superiority complex, Eros, on the show. Like, we get it, sis. These violent delights have violent ends. Is Cyclops still on Westworld? He wasn't in the first 2 episodes that I saw, Raise Your Cradle Girl, but he might have came back. I watched 2 episodes and I tapped out. They brought Lena Waithe on for some reason, and I said, Because if they give Lena Waithe one of them monologues, I will throw my TV out the window. And I already know I don't want to do that to myself. So I'm just not going to watch it. Like, no thank you. Right, Vanity, no thank you. No thank you. But they did also put Kid Cudi, which made me really happy. But I think he's only in that first episode. It was like they brought on a Kid Cudi, but they like X'd it out by bringing on a Lena Waithe. And they also brought on that dude from Breaking Bad, Aaron Paul, and I hate that dude. I just don't like his face. And I also don't like Dolores, who's like the main character. So I watched the first 2 episodes and I was just like, I'm done. I'm tired. So I don't know if they're going to bring Cyclops back. They haven't brought him back yet. And it's abbreviated season. It's only 8 episodes. So I don't know. He looks like a hobbit. Send it back. Didn't ask for that. And it's like Neo Los Angeles, but it's set in like season 3 of Westworld reveals like the date. I always want to say the star date. They reveal like the star date, and it's supposed to be like 2059. And I feel like 2059 is not far enough in the future for what they're claiming is going on, sort of. Number one of the main issues that I have that I feel like is a plot hole is that nobody recognizes, like, the robots. Like, just that nobody recognizes certain characters. Like, there's certain characters and they act like nobody recognizes them. Like, they have robots in Westworld that are modeled after real people, like people that existed in the real world that were real people that died and stuff like that. But then they have this, like, weird convoluted, like, explanation. Oh, no one recognizes them because, like, there were no pictures. It's supposed to be 2059. Like, why would there be no pictures? Like, right, like, they have flying cars and, like, hyper realistic, like, robots and, like, robot parks and shit, but, like, there's no pictures of this, like, CEO of this company that you have now made a fucking robot in their image. Like, I really don't give a fuck that he died like 35 years ago. 35 years ago was like 2024. Like, if it's now 2059, that's 4 years from now. So you're trying to tell me there was, like, no pictures and, like, no surveillance of this, like, I don't know. Like, they have a lot of plot holes, and they think their writing is so clever, but there'd be, like, bare minimum basic shit that they just have no explanation for. Like, I don't know. Like, how people say that they think that, like, Queen Elizabeth is, like, a fucking clone or something like that. Like, if Queen Elizabeth passed away, there's so much imagery of Queen Elizabeth, even when she was young. 35 years from now, you couldn't, like, make a robot of Queen Elizabeth and be like, no, this looks nothing like Queen Elizabeth. They'd be like, yes, it fucking does. Yes, it does. It looks just like her. There's a lot of shit that they want us to, like, let go in Westworld. Quarantine got Seren doing monologues. Y'all are funny. Romeo and Juliet is probably more fair, Queen edgy. I would love to be a voice actor queen. It's hard to break into, though. Yeah, New Moon. It is a Twilight line. That's what I always think of. Hi, Jaren. I have not watched Love, Death, and Robots at all. My favorite character on The Expanse is Amos. That's my fucking guy. I love him. I love Amos. He's my favorite. Hands down. Favorite. Doesn't The Boys have superpowers? Does it? Yeah. And they're hunting Nazis or something. They should have just kept Watchmen and canceled Westworld. They're still teasing like Watchmen might come back for season 2. I don't know. True Blood was such a disappointment. True Blood sure did dip in quality. No, The Expanse, the show, is a show with The Punisher, Thomas Jane, and I don't know if you would know anyone else that's in it, but The Punisher's in it. That's all I can think when I see him. Oh yeah, and Tyrell from The Walking Dead is in it as Fred Johnson. The Deuce is okay. Extant, yeah, the other show with Halle Berry was called Extant. I think I'm one of the few people that was glad Watchmen didn't get a season 2. It ended perfectly to me. You think so, Roderick? The Clark Sisters on Lifetime is one of the best films that network has created, produced, and put out. I totally agree, Queen Yvonne. I feel like that was probably the best thing I've ever seen on Lifetime for real. Funny Farm is hilarious, Eris. I'm glad you've seen it. Yeah, they should have done a mini-series for the Clark Sisters. I did feel like, especially towards the end, the pace, like, picked up a lot. You could tell they felt like they had to, like, cram in a lot at the end. Content matters, not just delivery. I'm just saying, just because you're talking slow in the rain doesn't mean it's deep. Great monologues are all about emoting and articulation, in my opinion. Right, Queen, you just said the Clark Sisters, that I didn't even see this. I just got to it, Queen. I thought the same thing. That mid to last half was a bit rushed. Time constraints, I'm sure, but I wish it could have been a 2-part series or something. Right, I thought the same thing. there was clearly some type of time constraint, and the pacing got a bit off towards the end. But I guess, like, what can you do? No, I'm not watching Game of Thrones. It's like 8 seasons, and I know for a fact that the last one is bad. I don't want to waste my time. That's like, I tell people, like, people ask me, like, should I watch Dexter? And I'd be like, I love Dexter. Dexter's one of my favorite shows of all time. If they had stopped Dexter at season 4, it would have literally been a perfect, perfect, perfect series beginning to end. But since that didn't happen, I cannot in good faith recommend that you watch it. I don't know why Aaron Paul was in Westworld. Not necessary at all. I don't get Aaron Paul. He looks like he wants to take my order at Subway. He has a mad punchable face. Hi, Seven. I think it's because they wanted to, like, bring in some, like, new blood onto the show. I don't know why Aaron Paul. I don't know. People act like they really liked him in Breaking Bad. Like, he's somebody. I don't know. I never seen that one episode of Breaking Bad, so I don't know. But I think they just wanted to, like, season 2 was, like, extremely polarizing, and I think they wanted to sort of, like, do a fresh start with Westworld with, like, a new, fresh main character, and so they decided to go with Aaron Paul and Lena Waithe. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I don't really watch scary movies. I have not seen Hereditary or The Void. I have heard that Hereditary is really good. I haven't decided if I'm going to watch it because I'll have nightmares. Yeah, that's it. 2059. Isn't that in like 39 years? They got flying cars in 2059. All that futuristic looking stuff in Westworld is set within my lifetime. Right. Like, I kind of wish they hadn't even revealed the date if it was just going to be that. And that, like, okay. In season 3, I don't know if this is considered a spoiler, but I'm going to say it because I feel like this is a major part of, like, the trailers and everything. In season 3, Dolores is outside. And I feel like, how is Dolores not recognized by anybody? And no one has been able to explain it to me. Like, Dolores was the oldest host in the park, and the park's been open for 35 years. And it's hosted, like, millions and millions and millions of fucking people. Like, they show you, she's, like, in the beginning, she's, like, dating this guy, this, like, human, and they show you that the dude has been to the park 17 times. I'm like, how has he been to the park 17 times and he does not recognize her? I feel like that's such a huge plot hole in the whole season. And we've seen in other... Like, we've seen in other episodes that other people have also seen Dolores. So I just don't understand. It's like every single time you go to Disney World, when you walk into Disney World, you have to, like, walk past the Magic Castle. It's, like, right in the front. If you move the Magic Castle fucking somewhere else... Just because it's somewhere else, it's not like I'm not going to recognize that it's the fucking Magic Castle. I'm going to be like, wow, that is the Magic Castle from Disney World. Like, what is that shit doing over there? I'm not going to be like, that sure does look like the Magic Castle. Oh, well, I guess it's not it. I guess it, like, can't be. And I kind of feel like that's the way that they're doing with, like, Dolores. Like, she doesn't have this, like, extremely recognizable... There's people that have been to the park, like, dozens of times, hundreds of times, like, repeatedly. If you go to a park all the time... And you always ride the same rides that you like every time, and then all of a sudden you fucking see that ride. Like, I've been to the King's Dominion probably 1,000,000 times in my life. If I fucking woke up and the Rebel Yell roller coaster was in my fucking backyard, I'd be like, that is really weird. I wouldn't just let it go. And it's like there's all these people that have, like, seen the robots' faces, and they've seen them in the park, and they know that they're robots, and now they're outside, but they're not getting recognized. I feel like it's such a huge plot hole that it's ridiculous. It's, like, ridiculous. It's stretching, right, it's like, it's just stretching too much. And especially since I just watched Blade Runner. Like, in Blade Runner, nobody knew what the fucking replicants look like. But people know what the robots in Westworld look like. So, I don't understand. Or like Maeve. Right, she's on the Dolores should be on the brochure. She's on the cover. Welcome you to Westworld. They show us that Maeve is in the promotional materials. Like Maeve and her daughter, for example, are in the promotional materials for Westworld. They're like in the video. They're like in the welcome video. So it's like if Maeve is outside, looking like herself, looking like motherfucking Tandy Newton, I would be like, that is the fucking robot from Westworld. Somebody call 911. That is the robot from Westworld. Like, I don't think it's someone that just looks like her. I've been to the park 17 times. Like, I've murdered her myself. Like, that's her. Like, arrest her. It's a robot. But apparently, everybody's blind in Westworld, and nobody knows what these robots look like. Hi, Nikki. I'm just saying, Kenneth. The Rebel Yell was the first thing that came to mind. I've been to Kings Dominion so many times. My mother still calls Six Flags Adventure World to this day. She'll be like, Adventure World. I'd be like, Mom, it's been Six Flags for like 20 years. She won't call it anything else. Yes, watch The Expanse, Savannah. It's so good. Watch The Expanse. It's great. It's way better. I used to have a major hard-on for Westworld because I thought it was going deep on the idea of existence, but now it's just a robot opera. You didn't think you were going to like Amos? Is he your favorite? He's my favorite. Hi, Tim. My mom is dead set, like cannot be swayed in believing that Paul McCartney is a clone and died in a car crash. Why, Julian? Did I watch all the Twilight movies? Yeah, I've seen them bad things. The first two were good. They were all right. The last ones, I forget, exist. True Blood pissed me off. Me too, Jared. I didn't see Midsummer, but I've heard that the person that's doing those movies, Midsummer and Hereditary, is by the same person, right? People like love that filmmaker. The boys are like Justice League if it was owned by the Trump organization. Oh, okay. Thomas Jane, best Punisher. You like Thomas Jane better than Shane from The Walking Dead, Owen? I like them both. I think they're different. I do love Thomas Jane as the Punisher, though. I think I might like him better, too. I'm going to need them to not tease me. Just give me what I want with Watchmen. I don't know if you mentioned it, but it was the highest watched content on Lifetime for 4 years. I saw that, Mystery L, the Clark sisters. It pulled like almost 3 million people. That's a lot. I feel ashamed. I was a Twilight stan. Tried to watch it a few months back and I got upset. It was so dumb. Why did I like this as a teen? It was meant for you when you were a teenager, Savannah. They all had solo careers and it wasn't mentioned at all. Yeah. I feel like they kind of hinted towards it, but they definitely could do a part 2. I would watch it. Anjanou Ellis is a great actress. She should get more roles. Shirley Chisholm is not Black American. Shirley Chisholm is West Indian. Like, so, that's, just so you know, she's not a Black American. Shirley Chisholm was not a Black American. What shows would have been great if they ended early? Dexter, True Blood. I guess y'all would say Game of Thrones. I've never seen it. Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. Which season should have been the last season? The season after she comes back to life should have been the last season. Not the season where she comes back. The one after that should have been the last one. My dad just texted me. He said he's watching True Blood and it's on season 3. I said stop there because it's terrible after that. I'm trying to think. That's a good question. What shows would have been great if they ended early? Game of Thrones fell off on season 4. Bryan Cranston was a star of Breaking Bad. Aaron Paul was okay. I was actually going to start watching Dexter, so I guess I won't be going past season 4. I have not watched The Platform. It's on Netflix, right? I think somebody else suggested it. Is it a movie or a show? Aaron Paul was a fan favorite on Breaking Bad, but then after about the midpoint of the series became one of the most hated characters. I would say The Walking Dead would definitely be great if it ended earlier, like 5 seasons ago. I can't believe it's still coming on. Maybe Prison Break. Prison Break went on a bit long. Even though the last season was great. There were like a couple seasons that weren't that good. How do you think the writers and directors can save Westworld now? Take the show off the air. I don't know. How can they save it? Okay, Roderick had a great suggestion in Discord, actually, that they should kill Dolores and make Maeve the main character and have Maeve going around to all the different parks. Because there's like 5 different parks. Have Maeve going around to all the different parks and exploring all the different narratives in the different parks and like freeing all the robots. And then maybe the last season could have been like the robot uprising with like millions of robots, the robots from all 5 of the parks like rising up. And then that could have been like the end. That probably would have been better. That was Roderick's idea. The Void is one of the best horror movies I've seen in a while. Hereditary's good, but it's rough. If Hereditary has body horror, I can't do it. Like nails, horror, eyes, blood, teeth, yuck. Yes, I saw that Queen Latifah was a producer of the Clark Sisters. I did not know that, Mystery L. Queen Latifah is besides some solid productions. If I see her name producing it, I'll watch it. I watched Breaking Bad because people were comparing it to The Wire. Gave up in season 2. Blade Runner is interesting. It's very 80s, but the concepts, they bought things that are commonplace now were borrowed from Blade Runner. So it's kind of weird, like watching it now. You just have to watch it understanding that when it came out, it was brand new. If you know what I mean. That would have been me, the boy in blue. Fuck this bitch doing here. Dexter's good too. Hi, lovely Lunarian. Yes, Adventure World. Thrift Cream. My mother to this day, she'd be like, you going to Adventure World? Mom, I'm going to Six Flags. Hereditary is disturbing. The music in Westworld is still great. The music in Westworld is still good. I thought Amos was going to be another Jane Cobb, a big meathead with a gun. Oh, yeah, no. He's nothing like Jane. I love Amos because Amos says things that you're not supposed to say, but he's not wrong. Like, he's not lying. He just says the things that you're not supposed to say. Like, I'll throw your ass out in space. I really don't give a fuck. And they'd be like, oh my God, why would you say that? And he's just like, I don't care. Like, True Blood started so good. Now I can't even rewatch. Oh, okay. I do want to watch The Godfather of Harlem. I keep forgetting. I do. The Boys is like if the government owned superheroes and endorsed them, but it's more like a private company. What scene in Twilight? The fan? What fan? I wanted to rewatch True Blood, but after they did Tara's character so dirty and killed her off, can't do it. Right, I won't. R.I.P. Nelson Ellis. He was fantastic. Yeah, R.I.P. Little Coco. You gonna eat my burger how I fucking make it! It's the best scene of True Blood. Period. Hi, Monica! Ingenue Ellis was brilliant on Quantico. She and most of the cast left in season 3. Now I don't even want to finish. Didn't watch Quantico. Game of Thrones needed to be extended, not ended. Didn't they say they could go 10 seasons? But these motherfuckers couldn't write, so they were like, nah, we good. We're done. Midsummer. Yeah, the writer said that... I don't know if the writer's a man or a woman, because I feel like the name is androgynous, so I don't want to use the wrong pronoun, but The writers, I know the writers said that they were like going through a really bad breakup when they wrote Midsummer. And so the whole thing is a metaphor about people breaking up. I want to watch it. I just know that there's a lot of like people getting cut open and stuff. I don't know. I don't know if I want to see that. I don't know if I want to see people's like chest cavities and stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Shannon, Seren has all the facts about Hidden Figures. I just be Googling. Hi, Brooke. How are you? Once Upon a Time. Yeah, Once Upon a Time would have been better if it stopped like season 3. I think I stopped watching season 4 or 5. And it's still coming on. Hi, Cho Cho. Supernatural. I cannot say Supernatural because I've enjoyed every season of Supernatural. But I understand people saying that they feel like 15 seasons is just too many and it should have ended. Like, I enjoyed all of them, but I'm like a stan. I had to stop watching Dexter after season 4. I got so mad at the ending. It was predictable as fuck. That's what I said. You can't watch... I mean, season 5 is okay, but I would stop at season 4. The Walking Dead is still on, Monica. I heard Anjanou Ellis is supposed to play Venus and Serena Williams' mother in their movie on Lifetime. Oh, really? Maybe Anjanou's got some kind of deal with Lifetime. Arrow should have ended at season 3. Flash probably should have went off a couple seasons ago. The Flash. Sorry, what movie, Nikki? What movie are you talking about? Sorry, I missed it. What movie? Foreign movie? Oh, absolutely, Seven. Charmed. Absolutely. 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 I've never seen a single episode of Big Bang Theory, even though people act like that shit is like so funny. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's white people comedy. I've never seen a single episode of Big Bang Theory because when that shit started coming on, I was like, I'm not watching Billy from Charmed. She ruined the show. People were like, what? I'm like, the blonde bitch was on Charmed. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it. I damn near stopped watching Lost when they showed Emily DeRavin, who was fucking Tess on Roswell, and she killed Alex. The whole time I was watching Lost, I was like, bitch, you killed Alex. You killed Alex. I don't know if any of you watched Roswell, but Mr. Robot final season was kind of meh. So was season 2, to be honest. The Walking Dead should have just been the one series as a mini-series. I have not yet watched High Fidelity. They're going to make a Walking Dead movie with the Rick Grimes character. Really, Charlene? Is it going to be Andrew Lincoln? Is he going to be Rick? If it's not him... Maeve is Moses. Hereditary is just really demonic. If you hate demonic horror, don't watch. Maeve is not delusional. Maeve is the only robot that's actually awake. She's the only one that's truly awake. Because Maeve knows that she's a robot. And she knows that her daughter is a robot. And she knows that they do not have any type of family ties. But she still wants to find her just because she made the choice. That was like an actual choice that she made. She's self-aware. She's truly self-aware. Now, we don't have to like her choices, but that's how it goes when people are making their own choices. You don't always like them. She's definitely not delusional. I feel like Maeve is literally the only one that's actually awake. I don't think any of the other robots except Maeve are self-aware. Because even Dolores and her like Wyatt persona and wanting to kill everybody was like still a part of the programming. Like, the persona is still a part of the programming. I really feel like Maeve is the only one making her own choices. And Teddy. When Teddy shot himself, that was a choice, too. Maeve and Teddy are the only ones that I think are actually self-aware. Charm could have ended at season 3. I never got into Paige, even though how they introduced her was pretty decent writing. I didn't like Paige at first either, but she grew on me. Hereditary will haunt you for days in the best way. That's my favorite modern movie. Really? That's like great praise. Oh, y'all are talking. I was like, who the fuck is Bonnie? Who are y'all talking about? Y'all was talking about the Vampire Diaries. Y'all put TVD. I thought I said TWD, The Walking Dead. My bad. Well, I still stand by what I said. The Walking Dead should have went off. Bye, Alexia. Charm should have stopped with the season before the last. Didn't like the season without Daryl. Amos is messed up, but I love him. I'm gonna watch Godfather in Harlem. I'm gonna find it somewhere and watch it. Nikki! Everything on this table got AIDS. Who ordered the AIDS burger? I'm about to watch that scene as soon as we get off. Oh, that scene! When Bella walked in front of the fan and Edward smelled her. Did you ever read the chapters from the Midnight Sun where they described that from Edward's point of view? I don't know what kind of drugs Stephanie Myers was on when she wrote the Midnight Sun, or if she used a ghostwriter. I personally think a ghostwriter wrote those Midnight Sun chapters, because that's the best shit that bitch ever wrote. Way better than the original books. But that shit got leaked all over the internet and she refused to finish. But it was pretty interesting seeing that scene from Edward's perspective. He was thinking about how quick he could kill her and kill everybody else in that room and get her body outside. Let's see. Ooh! I hit the button. Fuck! Sorry, I hit the home button. Sorry, I hit the home button. Sorry. I hit the home button. My bad. Breaking Bad, because I'm trying to scroll, and I hit the home button. Breaking Bad got the attention Mad Men should have got. These MFs couldn't write, and that's it. Midsummer is like, it's like a pagan thing, and part of it is like opening up people's, but I know for a fact that like people's bodies get opened up. I know for a fact that happens. The gore from Midsummer was over the top, but luckily you know when it's coming and can cover your eyes. You're gonna see all of that in Midsummer. Right, the Thrift Queen. I'm not trying to see people's empty chest cavities, because the movie is a metaphor for a breakup and having like your heart and shit ripped out. So they made a whole horror movie about people literally getting their chests opened up and carved up and shit. Like, I mean, I appreciate you using your art in that manner, person that made Midsummer. I do. I don't know if I want to see that type of thing. Midsummer to me was very shock value. It was an interesting watch, but I personally didn't feel like it was as deep as people made it out to be, says Brooke. How you doing, Brookie? I felt some type of way that they brought in the bitches from Frozen before they brought in Tiana Roderick on Once Upon a Time. I was like, oh, for real? Oh, that's how we feel. Okay. All right. I watched the first season of Being Human. Lovely Lunarian. Hi, Remy. I thought it was interesting how all the horror in Midsummer took place in the light of day. Horror usually relies on darkness. I know a lot of people like that. That sort of inversion. Midsummer and The Love Witch are like cousins. People still watch The Walking Dead. Child, apparently. I mean, I love Iris, but The Flash isn't what it used to be. I'll just leave it at that. I watched the Clark Sisters movie on Lifetime today, Tiana. I preferred Midsummer over Hereditary, to be honest. Big Bang Theory is not funny at all. Yeah, after about season 4 of The Flash, I kind of stopped paying attention. That's her name, Kaylee Cuoco, whatever the fuck. Was a mad dumb choice. The platform deals heavy with individualism and hoarding. Alright, I'll look it up. She did kill Alex, Chris. I am not watching Ozark. Is anybody watching Ozark? She did kill Alex. It was fucked up, too. It was real fucked up how she killed Alex. Like, the way she went about it was trash. I used to love the Roswell show. Y'all know what show really needs to end? Grey's Anatomy. What is Ozark about? Every time I see the word Ozark, I think that it's about drugged out white people. Is that what it's about? Grey's Anatomy is like 29 seasons in. It's like a soap opera. I did watch Colony. I liked Colony. It had the bitch from fucking, I want to say the bitch from Prison Break, but more people know her from Walking Dead. It had Sarah Tancredi. She was Sarah Tancredi on Prison Break. And then she was motherfucking Lori Grimes, annoying ass on The Walking Dead. And then she was on Colony. She was really good in Colony. She was that girl in Prison Break. I mean, she can act. I don't know her name. I don't know her real name, but she's a really good actress because, like, I mean, she was also great as Lori Grimes. Lori Grimes was just such a hateful character. You just wanted her ass to die. But, like, she can act. She can make you feel. Paige could never replace Prue, but she grew on me too. Right, Nicole? She grew on me. Godfather of Harlem is on Amazon streaming and Epic's cable channel. Have any of y'all watched The Haunting of Hill House? So many people call it the best show on Netflix, but I don't know if I should get into it. Oh, you read Midnight Sun, Nikki! Midnight Sun was better than the reimagined Twilight, that's for sure. The Midnight Sun is a continuation, or is it just a story told from Edward's perspective? It's Twilight told from Edward's perspective. So, like, the part in Twilight, for example, where, like, they leave and they don't come to school. Like, after he meets her, and then he, like, disappears for a while and he doesn't come back. And Bella's trying to, like, figure out, like, what's going on. And she's, like, researching the shit about the vampire, you know, and all that stuff. It's told from Edward's perspective, so you, like, see where he was and, like, what he was doing and, like, all the things that's, like, going on in their family, like, the inner workings of their family and how it goes when he, like, falls in love with the human. You, like, see it from his perspective, which is way more fucking interesting than dry-ass Bella's boring-ass fucking perspective, if you ask me. But the pages got leaked. Stephanie Meyer wrote, like, 200-300 pages or something, and they got leaked on the internet, and she got really upset and said she wouldn't finish it. But I did read them when they got leaked, and they were great, so I guess I'm a part of the problem, because I read them. Mad Men got plenty of attention and critical praise. It was a cult show. I watched it, but it moved too slow. Breaking Bad was great. So you like Breaking Bad better than Mad Men, Charlene? I haven't watched either one. You're good, working your butt off. I'm good. You know, staying in. The Clark Sisters movie was so good, Remy. I'm going to review it. I finished it right before I started this live. I'm going to review it. Anybody still watch Shameless, the American version? No, I think I watched the first season and that was it. I stopped oh, you talking about Once Upon a Time, Nicole. I stopped watching when they brought Anna and Elsa but ignored Tiana. I was mad offended. Right, I was too. Ozark is money laundering? Oh, okay. So it's not drugged out Appalachian Mountains. Okay. Did anybody watch Outsiders? It came on that same network that used to give Underground. Outsiders was really good. And so was Underground, but they canceled all the shows. And another show came on that same channel. It was like a pirate show that I wanted to watch that I never saw. They canceled all the shows. I watched the first season of Ozark and started the second season, but haven't finished it, and now they have a third season. Do any of you guys watch Animal Kingdom? My mom loves that show. My mom watches all the shows. Like, how I watch all the movies, my mom watches all the shows. My mom watches every fucking show. All the damn shows. She'd be like, do you watch this? Do you watch this? I'd be like, I've never even heard of this. And then it'd be on, like, the end of the year, like, best show of the year. I'd be like, how did you even hear about it? I will not be reviewing no damn Tiger King. Ozark is about money laundering. I do want to watch The Leftovers, like, seriously. And please don't start talking about it. No spoilers, because I'm going to watch it. Ozark is about money laundering and extortion. When I hear the word Ozark, I think of Appalachian witches. Right? I think of Appalachia. I think of, like, drugs in Appalachia. Ozark is about a white man selling drugs with a bunch of problems with his wife, kids, and everyone connected to him. So it's Breaking Bad, basically? Hi, Wanda. Haunting of Hill House is good. Oh, somebody else said The Haunting of Hill House was good. Binge watching Godfather of Harlem now on Epix. They told me it's free till the end of the month. Cool. I don't know. I think I was young enough. I was just devouring it. I didn't realize Midnight Sun might not have been written by Stephanie Meyer. I really don't think she wrote it, Nikki. I think somebody else wrote it. I really think somebody else wrote it. Because Stephanie Meyer can't write. No, Stephanie Meyer can't write. I don't think she wrote it. I think she had a ghostwriter. Or I don't know. She was high or something. You know, like Stephen King used to like get blackout drunk and like write amazing shit. Like, I don't know if she was like drunk. I don't know, but Stephanie Meyer's writing is bad, but The Midnight Sun was really good. How do things like that get leaked? Gotta be someone close to the work, the artist, writer. That gotta hurt worse than the leak itself. Like, who can you trust? That's also why I thought that maybe she had a ghostwriter, because I thought that maybe the ghostwriter was the one that leaked the pages. Stephanie threw a fit and quit. I really felt for her in that aspect. Getting your work leaked could really strike a creative soul. Remy, I haven't seen Breaking Bad, Mad Men, Dexter, or Power. I've missed the whole movements. I've never seen not a single episode of Game of Thrones, so. I haven't watched Mad Men, I haven't watched Breaking Bad, I haven't watched Power. I've only seen Dexter out of all those shows you just named. Like, I watch TV, but I don't watch a ton of TV. And I don't watch, like, every genre. I mostly watch speculative fiction. And, like, murder stuff, like Dexter. Oh, you're watching One Piece? You should talk about it in the chat. They be talking about it in Discord, Remy. Someone said Godfather of Harlem is free on Epix till the end of this month. Oh, so they really canceled the whole station, Raise Your Random Girl. Yeah, it was a pirate show. I can't think of what it was. It might have been called Black Sails or something like that. I can't really remember. They canceled the whole station. Outsiders was really good, too. I'm really mad. I'm still mad about Underground. They were just about to get into the Civil War in season 3. Underground was good. My mom and brothers love Animal Kingdom. The Leftovers is amazing. No, I did not watch Angel. You know how I feel about Angel. Buffy only, thanks. I did used to watch Buffy with my mom, though. We used to watch Buffy together. I have to watch The Leftovers. Yeah, I have to watch Leftovers. I do not watch My Hero Academia, but I know a lot of people that do. I'm not watching no damn Love is Blind, Julian. Oh, wasn't it so good, Remy? Making the 5 Heartbeats? Wasn't it so good? So good. Ozark is a ripoff of The Riches. I've heard about this show, David Dunn. This is the show where the people die and the poor people take their place, right? Which I thought of when I was watching Parasite. Animal Kingdom on TNT. I watched the movie Animal Kingdom. It's originally an Australian movie and they turned it into an American show. I've watched some of the show but never really got invested. Maybe that's why she stopped the book, because it was better than anything she ever did. I think that's why, too. The real writer leaked. Someone should have picked up Underground. Somebody should have picked up all them shows. Underground should have got picked up. The pirate show should have got picked up so I could have fucking watched it. And they should have finished Outsiders. I feel like we've talked about Outsiders, too. Outsiders is about this fucking clan that live in a fucking mountain. I think it's set in Kentucky. This clan that, like, live in a fucking mountain. And at the bottom of the mountain, there's, like, a town. And the people in the town, like, live in fear of the fucking people, the mountain people. Because they, like, come down every now and then and, like, raid the town and, like, take shit. But they just, like, live up on the mountain, like, totally outside of society. And they're, like, ran by a matriarch. But, like, she's old as fuck and half dead. So they're having, like, a fight over who's gonna take over the clan. And, like, what's gonna be the next step for the clan in modern day times. And they find oil or something in the mountain, so they're trying to, like, the people of the town have, like, prospectors and all these people come in. They're trying to figure out how to, like, get the mountain people, like, out. It was like a wild show, and it never got resolved, and it had such a good setup. Hi, Mr. Goldstein. I've never seen not one single episode of How to Get Away with Murder either. I don't watch any TV. I do love movies, though. I did see Game of Thrones because I love a period piece and fantasy. I find it interesting, Remy, how a lot of people prefer one or the other. Like, I watch TV, and I like TV, but I love movies more. And like I said, when my mom is, like, my mom loves movies too, like, we both love movies, but my mom really loves TV. Like, my mom is a binge watcher. I'm not even a binge watcher. Like, I'll watch like 1 or 2 episodes and be good. I cannot sit there and watch TV for like, watch a whole season in one sitting. I can't do it. Certain time gets taken up watching Supernatural. That is true. I think Supernatural might be the only show I've ever binge watched because I definitely watched the first 5 seasons in like 3 days. But that was just because like I really did love Supernatural. Yay, Kay. Oh, Heroes, absolutely, The Boy in Blue. Heroes is another show that definitely would have been better if it ended earlier. Lost definitely would have been better if it ended earlier. Oh no, not Black Sails. Black Sails was on Stars. Okay, maybe not Black Sails. There was like another pirate show that came on. And what was the name of the network that Underground and Outsiders came on? What was it called? Eugene? Was that it? It's a bit warm in here. The Leftovers is really good, and you're going to love season 2. I do not watch Fleabag, but it was on so many, like, end-of-year lists last year that it kind of made me not want to watch it. Like, shit couldn't have been that fucking good. I did watch Dollhouse, Lovely Lunarian. Dollhouse was really good. Is Angel that show with Jessica Alba and Jensen Ackles? That would be Dark Angel, Roderick. Angel was this Buffy the Vampire Slayer spinoff with David Boreanaz, whose later show was Bones with what's her name? Not Zoe Deschanel, the other one, her older sister. I want to see Altered Carbon, but Anthony Mackie. I watched the first season and felt really weird about it. I don't know. And I hate Anthony Mackie, so I'm not pressed to watch season 2. But the first season made me kind of uncomfortable. Because the concept is like your soul or whatever, your essence, can be like put in different bodies. They call them like skins. The main character is like Asian. And they put him like inside of this white dude. It was weird. It was weird to me. I don't know. I thought it was weird. It was like, it had weird, I don't know, like it could just be me, but I felt like Altered Carbon had like really weird racial undertones, which I feel like is probably why they picked Anthony Mackie for the second season. They pick like a quote unquote POC because like having the white dude be Asian was like weird. And like in all the flashbacks, he's like Asian, but in what we're watching now, he's white. I was like, why is he white? I just kept thinking that every time. Like, why is he white? Like, him being white is so weird and distracting. Ozark is about a married Chicago couple who are forced to relocate to the Ozarks following a money laundering scheme that went wrong. If a ghostwriter writes your work, then are you really the writer? No. It is considered your work, but you didn't write it. Ooh, I love Xena. Lucy Lawless is hosting a Xena binge on Sci-Fi, so I've been watching that. I did not watch Still Starcrossed, but I know people loved it. The 100 has gone on too long now as well. I really had hoped a rich black person, would finance Underground. Who are you talking about, The Boy in Blue? You talking about Stephanie Meyer. She probably saw how people loved it, and that's why she got mad. Yeah. Razy Cranham Girl, I like TV more than movies. Arrow said, I love movies more than TV. It's just a personal preference. Why do you like TV more, Razy Cranham Girl? Why do you like movies more, Arrows? I love movies because I hate the commitment of TV. That's how I feel about Supernatural. It's like I can't quit now. I've given mad years of my life to this show. Might as well ride it out to the end. I'm committed. I love movies more too. Roderick, I prefer TV to movies. TV sucks because of commercials. Most shows fall off towards the end of the show or go on too long. I like TV more. Movies are too contained and final. WGN, thank you. That was the name of the shit. Thank you, Roderick. The production value in movies is usually better for me. Not to say there isn't some amazing TV production, there is, but I feel like it's hit or miss. Plus, I like the story all at once. I like that too. I like getting a complete story. I like that too, Remy. I think that's maybe why I prefer movies, because I like getting a complete story with a beginning, a middle, and end. Even if it's a character study or something like that. Sometimes TV just gets exhausting because you're just like, okay, all right. Okay, Dolores, the humans don't deserve the world. Can we move on? OWN was offered Underground, but Oprah said it was a cult show that was too expensive to produce. Westworld Dialogue is like a Tyler Perry show. I like TV shows with unique writing styles and filming styles. Otherwise, it's more so movies for me. I used to love Dark Angel too. Dark Angel with Jessica Alba was a good show, where she played Max. I liked in Heroes when they made it seem as if Sylar was Peter and Nathan's brother, and then they retconned it. Was not happy. Underground was expensive to produce because of the period pieces, and the music was produced by John Legend. I do love TV though, because like a really good TV show is great. Like the first season of Heroes is like great. Like a really good TV show does like it's like itching a scratch or scratching an itch. My mom always says itching a scratch. Right, he freaked out when he woke up in that white boy. Same, I'd freak out too. It was weird. Like, I just kept thinking, like, why is he white? OMG, Seren, you can't just ask people why they're white. Remy, if you're from Africa, why are you white? That was just all I literally kept thinking watching Altered Carbon. Sounds like they wanted to do Yellowface, but they didn't want to get dragged by Twitter. That was exactly how I felt about season 1 of Altered Carbon, Nicole. I felt like deep down they really wanted to do some Yellowface, Iron Fist type shit, but they couldn't do it. So they just like came up with this like backstory, and it was still fucking weird. Sounds like that Netflix show with the pasty white man doing martial arts. Iron Fist! Ghostwriting is professional fan fiction. I mean, 50 Shades of Grey is professional fan fiction. It's literally Twilight fan fiction. Literally. Why do I hate Anthony Mackie? He's a dickhead. And he's a fucking coon. And he says a woman's place is in the kitchen making sandwiches. And that people with dreads all look like criminals. And he told his nephew that he should cut his dreads off because does he want to look like a criminal or does he want to look like a fucking clean-cut, upstanding individual? He's a fucking dick. Like, he's a dick. Anthony Mackie is a dickhead. Like, his interviews all suck. All of them. And I don't think he's that good of a fucking actor. I've seen him in quite a few things. I've never been impressed. Like, Yahya Abdul-Mateen ran circles around this man in Striking Vipers, and he was supposed to be, like, the big fucking name and shit. I like TV more because you get more... I mean, I guess it's just because there's more time. Crazy Random Girl, more background and character development. I love Still Star Crossed. I campaigned harder for that than any other show. I know it had, like, a really strong, dedicated fan base, Nicole. Still Star-Crossed, Sleepy Hollow, and what was that other show? What was the other show with the black girl and the white guy, and the white dude had, like, killed somebody, and he was in jail, and then he got out of jail, and it was a white girl in it, too? Can't think of the name of it. Those 3 shows Sleepy Hollow, Still Star-Crossed, and the show that I just described. I feel like all three of those shows came out around the same time and had these like really extremely dedicated fan bases that were rooting for them so hard, and then they just like fucked up the show. I always think of all three of those shows together. With TV, and I know one of you will know the show I'm talking about. With TV, especially really good TV, it's like an hours long movie and you get more story. I love movies because it's a better budget and they usually have more time to complete a story. I do agree with that. Most movies have more time on the back end to get the story together. I ain't trying to get left on all these damn cliffhangers. Remember how I was watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer and waiting for new episodes? It was bad. It was so hard. And TV shows aren't promised a season renewal. Right, they will end you on a cliffhanger quick. If I had to pick, it would probably be movies because it's one thing to digest. They gotta build up instead of out. Seven said, too expensive for Oprah? Right. I prefer TV because I feel like there's more freedom in it than movies for everyone involved. Plus, when I like something, I want more of it. Too expensive means I don't think it's worth the money, right? We talked a little bit about Little Fires Everywhere earlier, Charlene. There's some people watching it. A lot of people said they like it. I tend to watch movies more, but a good series is sweet because it gives me something to look forward to when I get off work. Jen. 50 Shades was bad fanfic, bro. Remy. 50 Shades was bad fanfic too. It's some amazing fanfic out here, and that's what made it big. We've discussed this though. The 50 Shades of Grey fanfic got big because people were like so quote unquote scandalized by the S&M, like the S&M element of it. Because Twilight in and of itself is just Romeo and Juliet, like people from enemy houses that can't be together. She took like the base storyline of Romeo and Juliet and just made like human vampire, and then she like did her thing with the lore and all that. But they like couldn't have sex because Stephanie Meyer's a Mormon and like she is a weirdo, so they like couldn't have sex. So what the 50 Shades of Grey fanfic writer did was like, well, what if it was like Edward and Bella, but instead of like not being able to have sex because they're Mormon, they were having like the kinkiest, most S&M sadomasochistic. They're tying each other up and he's handcuffing her and he has her on all these rules and he's like beating her and like all this stuff. Like took it to the extreme, and people liked that, even though it was like shitty ass fanfic and it was like bad writing. But because I remember when that writer was like first posting it on all the sites, they even still had like Edward and Bella's name and everything, but it was just getting like a lot of hits. Like people were reading it, and so they turned it into like the 50 Shades of Grey shit. And now that bitch is like a fucking multi-millionaire. That's professional fanfic writing. That's professional fanfic right there. Anthony Mackie got a peanut head, and his acting does suck so bad. I've only ever liked Anthony Mackie in Adjustment Bureau. Me too, but I think that's just because I like the Adjustment Bureau. I like the movie. I don't necessarily like him. Don't you hate falling in love with the character and then seeing interviews being like, why did you have to talk? Mackie's range is his ankle to the floor. How did I like the latest season of Black Mirror? It was only 3 episodes, and I refused to watch the one with Miley Cyrus because fuck her. She never deserves to act or be seen in anything again with her racist blackfishing ass. So I didn't even watch that one. The other episode that wasn't Striking Vipers was really bad. That was probably like the worst episode of Black Mirror ever. Like the story was bad. It was dumb. Like it was just stupid. And like the twist and the reveal, I was like, that's it? It wasn't good. Striking Vipers was great. It could have just been a 1 episode season, and Striking Vipers just could have been it. Still Star-Crossed got fucked over like Firefly. Did not like Anthony Mackie's comments about locks. My stepmom is a highly educated engineer who had glorious locks and never even stole a piece of bubblegum. And just the shit that he said, he was like, don't you watch The Wire? It was just like, what are you fucking talking about? He was like, whenever you watch The Wire, like, who are the criminals standing on the corner? Like, they all have locks, right? It's just like, what are you even talking about, Anthony Mackie? Just shut up. No, I haven't seen Wayward Pines. I did love Doom Patrol. Love Doom Patrol a lot. Tumblr has so much great writing, and y'all chose 50 Shades by way of Twilight to become famous. Right, Nikki! Bad S&M. I've never seen so much missionary sex in an erotic novel before in my life. That shit was made poppin' by, like, housewives and shit. And then it just blew up. They figured out there's a market. Hi, Blackamore. They figured out there's a market in Wattpad fanfiction. That's how 50 Shades and After have thrived. 50 Shades wasn't nearly as erotic as people hyped it up to be. Yeah, it's not. 50 Shades is mad abusive and a bad rep for BDSM. Christian Grey is a narcissistic abuser. Getting involved with a vampire is S&M. Haha, Jim. Funny. The one where they were like, yeah, the one where they were locked in the car. That was boring as hell. Striking Viper saved the season. And the twist wasn't even good. The one, like he kidnapped somebody and, like, locked him in the car and, like, pulled the gun on him and was like, I want to talk to the person that, like, made the app. And, like, went through all this to get the person on the phone, which was still stupid. Like, it wasn't even good. And then the whole twist was, like, you were using an app and you weren't paying attention to the road and you got in a car accident and, like, killed somebody. Like, that's not even... Like, 7 Pounds already did this in a movie, like, 10 years ago. Like, no, I didn't like Bandersnatch. Thought it was dumb. I don't want to say that maybe Charlie's running out of ideas, but maybe Charlie's running out of ideas. I didn't like that episode with the guy blaming the internet for what he did, and he held that black boy hostage. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, the car one was, like, real what the fuck. You can Google it. The Anthony Mackie interview. It will pop right up. What's your fave Black Mirror episode ever? Metalhead is my fave episode ever. That's my favorite Black Mirror episode. Metalhead. Then Most Hated in the Nation. Then Be Right Back. Then Hang the DJ. Probably in that order, but sometimes it changes. Metalhead is, like, my favorite. But sometimes Be Right Back. I don't know, but I really like Hated in the Nation. I'm just going to stick with that order. Metalhead, Hated in the Nation, Be Right Back, Hang the DJ. My favorites. I also really like White Bear, but you guys know it really disturbed me. I don't know if I would call it a favorite because favorite implies that it's something you enjoy. But I think that White Bear is, like, a genius episode of television, and it really disturbed me. And so it also probably has to be on the list, but I will literally never watch it again, ever. How have you been doing, Blackamore? You doing good? Exactly, Raise Your Random Girl. White Bear fucked me up. Can't watch it a lot. And, like, the amount of conversation that White Bear caused of people, like, talking about it and, like, talking about if they would, like, be okay with that type of thing. And, you know, I feel like it's really a revealing piece of art. It, like, reveals something about people. So, like, maybe I would even say White Bear could be, like... I probably feel like White Bear is the most important episode of Black Mirror. And so it's definitely in my top 5. But favorite implies enjoyment, and I did not enjoy watching it. I will watch the most obscure movies, but I really be missing out on TV shows. The Boy in Blue. People were reading 50 Shades of Grey like, ooh, I'm reading porn in public. Sis, that's not even porn. Don't disrespect porn like that. Shut Up and Dance, Blackamore. Yeah. Metalhead was dope. Mine is White Bear. Fuck me up. I didn't like Bandersnatch. Hang the DJ was really good. Shut Up and Dance was my favorite Black Mirror episode. White Bear was wild. Your favorite is the same, Paige? Same, and everyone always tries to play Metalhead. It's literally perfect. Metalhead is perfect. Like, I love everything about it. Like the dogs and the Terminator. But I love Terminator, so the Terminator inspiration and the fact that it's in black and white and the violence, but not just the violence, like the emotional aspect of like her versus these dogs, you know, and like the classic man versus machine, and her fucking outsmarting the dog by climbing up in that tree and throwing the fucking candy so that it like powers down. Metalhead is the one. Metalhead is the one. People still argue over White Bear. White Bear was very disturbing. Same, I can't watch it again. One and done. White Bear and Shut Up and Dance really had me struggling with my morality. I didn't enjoy White Bear. It was disturbing, but it was brilliant. But I can never watch it again. That was how I felt, too. Good. I'm glad you're good, Blackamore. The episode with the pig. I was like, is he really gonna do it? He's not gonna do it. And that was the very first episode. It's like, damn, it started with a bang. Ew. Literally. What's a movie I really enjoyed but can never watch again? The Ring, probably. I would never want to watch The Ring again. Ever. I have no desire to watch it again. Ever. Yeah, the pig was the very first episode. What's the episode where the mother put the chip in her kid? Archangel. That's the one we were just talking about because Jodie Foster directed it. I didn't like that episode, Raise the Random Girl. I thought it was just unnecessarily everything. I loved Metalhead and the gray theme. It was so intense. Yeah, the pig shit did... Well, but the pig shit happening in real life came later. It happened on the show first. It happened in real life maybe 3 or 4 years later. I love Metalhead. It kept me on my toes. The suspense. Hi, Max Data. Metalhead is a great episode. It's my all-time favorite episode of Black Mirror. Anytime I meet somebody that's like, I've never seen Black Mirror, I'll be like, oh, let's watch it right now. And the episode that I always put on is Metalhead. I've seen that episode like at least 10 times. Or if someone says like, what episode should I watch? I say like, you should watch Metalhead. I was like, or if you want to watch something that's like not so heavy and like violent, I recommend Hang the DJ. Or if they want to watch something that is kind of spooky and sad, I tell them to watch Be Right Back. I do not recommend that anyone watch White Bear, even though I think it's probably the best episode of the series, because I'm not about to have them calling me freaking out, talking about why did I tell them to watch this disturbing shit. I do dig a good man versus machine exploration. That's why I'm so disappointed by Westworld. Yeah, but I don't remember nothing about neither one. Gravity Falls or Gumball. I don't remember shit about it. You got the joke. Samantha, you put ha 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 ha. Black Mirror's good. You should watch it, Mr. Goldstein. I'm just saying, Nikki. That's the most recent season, Striking Vipers. I mean, it's just the reason why White Bear is disturbing. Well, the acting itself is like disturbing. It's good. Like the acting is really good, and the main girl is so good, and it's just terrifying. Like it's terrifying to watch. She seems terrified. She's really good. And then, like, the twist at the end, like, I'm not going to say, because for people who haven't seen it, but, you know, and then the twist at the end, and then you start getting into the concept of, like, morality, and, like, is this okay? And it's a lot. It's, like, a very heavy, it's, like, heavy, like, it's heavy. They're not killing her. They didn't kill her. They're tormenting her every single day. And then you literally see people that's like, I think it's fine. But then, they're like, I think it's fine because of, like, what she did. It's a tough one. I really think that was, like, the peak. That was, like, Charlie at, like, the peak of his writing, the peak of his creativity, everything. Very genius. That's why I said, like, I would call that my quote-unquote favorite because I think it's the best, most brilliant episode. But I don't want to watch it again. So my favorite would be Metalhead. 30 Days of Night is the movie. Great movie. What's the episode with Bryce Dallas Howard? Nosedive. Nosedive is the one where social media is, like, real and everything in life is revolved around social media. So, like, if you want to move into, like, a new luxury apartment, you have to have, like, a certain amount of followers and likes, which would be terrifying. Yeah, I've seen Gattaca. I tell people not to watch the first episode when I recommend Black Mirror. Hi, Alignment. I personally liked Hang the DJ better than San Junipero also, Paigey. I preferred Hang the... I know everybody loves San Junipero. I saw a lot of you guys bring it up, but I thought it was okay. I thought I didn't really like the love story that much. I thought the concept of, you know, you can, like, you know, Black Mirror plays around a lot with this idea of, like, uploading your consciousness into the mainframe or whatever, so... Of course, I thought the concept of, like, uploading your consciousness into the mainframe forever, but then you have some people that don't want to do it, and then you also have people that do it, and then they discover they've been in there for, like, eternity, thousands of years, and they're bored, so now there's, like, little underground scene with clubs where people are, like, lighting themselves on fire and shit for thrills. I found that aspect of San Junipero more interesting than, like, the love story. Like, I didn't really care about that. I kind of wish they had focused on that other stuff more. So San Junipero didn't really do it for me personally. And I thought that Hang the DJ was better because I thought that Hang the DJ was just more interesting. I did really like Frank and Amy too. If I ever have, like, 2 pets, I want to name them Frank and Amy. The first episode of Black Mirror will throw you off. Most people don't bother watching after that. The main actress for White Bear was so good, but she's really scared the whole time, and it's a disturbing story. It's very heavy. Right, killing her would have been kinder. Would you be morally okay with torture? A lot of people said they would be. Because when they reveal at the end what she did, a lot of people say they feel like she deserved it. A lot of people. Like, I've literally watched people have full-blown arguments over this episode. Where somebody was like, well, no, it's still not right. And somebody else was like, well, she's getting what she deserved because she's basically getting what she did to somebody else. So how can you say it's not right? Like, I've literally seen, like, it's a tough episode. It's a tough question. White Bear asked a bunch of really deep personal questions. I think I would have enjoyed San Junipero more if it wasn't an interracial couple. We rarely see black lesbian love on TV. That would have been such a great opportunity. It's still one of my faves, though. There were very compelling arguments. I'm gonna watch White Bear again. I need to be shook. I said the one with the bees. I said Hated in the Nation is my second favorite. Raise Random Girl. I said Metalhead is my favorite. Hated in the Nation, Most Hated in the Nation, which is the one with the bees. That's my second favorite. And then I said Be Right Back, which is the one with Bill Weasley and Agent Carter. And then I said Hang the DJ with Frank and Amy. It's my fourth favorite. And then I said White Bear would be top 5, but I can't call White Bear a favorite per se. The people smiling with their camera phones was creepy and confusing. Metalhead I did like a lot. That's Be Right Back. Okay, so I guess I'm saying the names of the episodes, and y'all don't know the names of the episodes, so you don't know the ones I'm talking about. The one you said where she replaced somebody, the boy in blue, that's Be Right Back. I love San Junipero for the afterlife feel-good feelings. Yeah, people like the feel-good element of it. I like the element of it of, like I said, people that are, like, bored because they've been in the fucking mainframe for all eternity, and they realize, like, oh shit, I'm about to be in this mainframe for literally all eternity. Like, it's cool that you can, like, go back and forth through time and all that, but I do feel like eventually you'd reach the end of the mainframe. And so I like that they showed that aspect of it, that is people that's in the mainframe that's fucking bored. And so they have these, like, this underground culture with these clubs where they're, like, doing shit because they can't get out of the mainframe. They can't end their existence. And yet they don't feel anything anymore. They don't feel thrills and stuff. And I feel like that's more getting into the nature of, like, you know, what makes you human? Are you still human if you cannot cease to exist? If you can upload your consciousness into a mainframe and, like, quote unquote, like, live forever, like, what does that mean? I find that type of thing more interesting. And I like that they did show a little bit of it. But then they kind of went back to, like, the Ride Off in the Sunset story, which I know people like the feel-good shit. I know people like the feel-good shit. Yeah, I'm going to leave this video up, Queen Yvonne. Since Black Mirror is an anthology, you can start anywhere you want. Yeah, I think that too. People think, like, people watch the first episode and they think that story is going to continue. You don't have to. You don't have to watch the first one. The one with the people forced to rob banks was Shut Up and Dance. Oh my god, the Waldo moment is Trump! Black Mirror! The Waldo moment is Trump. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I think they went hard on her too because they didn't get her boyfriend. Right, and they didn't get her boyfriend because he killed himself. Isn't that the best kind of art where it sparks heavy and intellectual conversation that brings a clash of morals? Yeah. I thought Hated in the Nation was something else. No, Hated in the Nation was the one with the bees and the social media. I really liked that one a lot. It was Bill Weasley. He be in a lot of shit. He was also in Judge Dredd with Bones, the new Bones from Star Trek. He was also in Ex Machina. Bill Weasley will sneak up on you. He was in them new Star Wars movies too. He will sneak up on you in a motherfucking movie. I did like USS Callister. In terms of, like, the feel-good, enjoyable episodes, I probably like USS Callister the best. People like the feel-good episodes because it's a break from Black Mirror. It's a novelty because Black Mirror is so dark. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I would want my consciousness to be uploaded into a mainframe for all eternity. I don't think that's something I would want. I don't think that's something I would want. I still, also, this is a little bit unrelated, but it also comes on Netflix. I also want everyone to watch 3%. Everyone needs to watch 3%. Watch 3%. I always say this, the second season of 3% had one of the best episodes of television I've ever seen in my life. That was 100 Million Merits, yeah, with the singing contest and the treadmills and the bikes. The Good Place kind of... I heard people really like The Good Place. I heard it was good, Veronica Mars. The Good Place kind of dealt with this towards the end of the show. People in heaven being bored because everything is perfect. They've done everything they ever wanted to do for eternity. This was also a concept that was explored in the original Twilight Zone by the genius, Rod Serling, where the dude dies and he thinks he's gone to heaven because everything's perfect and he's getting everything he's ever wanted, but then he's bored as fuck and finds out he really went to hell. That was a twist. I didn't like Black Museum either, Blackamoor. I don't think Charlie Brooker in the UK needs to be dealing with racism. Like, Black American racism and crime and punishment and shit. I don't think it was handled well. I didn't care for it at all. I thought it was bad. I think people like it retroactively because they like Letitia from Black Panther. And she's cute. Like, she's good. She can act, whatever. But I thought the episode itself was really poorly written and the message was stupid. To me. I didn't care for it. I thought Black Museum was, like, one of the worst episodes of Black Mirror. Like, people, like, not everybody can talk about race. It's just not possible for everyone. I think you should only be punished once for a crime you committed. I don't think it's fair to committee that a crime... Oh, okay, sorry. I think your thing. I don't think it's fair to commit a crime once and be punished over and over. Right. And the thing for me was also, if you... Okay, if you commit a crime... Let's say you rob a bank, okay? I'm going to give you guys a hypothetical. This is a totally hypothetical situation. Let's say you rob a bank and... in the middle of you robbing the bank, okay, you shoot a bank teller and you kill him, okay? And you take the money and you leave. While you're leaving the bank, while you're in the car, in the getaway car, you get in a car accident. You get thrown from the vehicle and you lose your memory. You have amnesia, right? And you wake up in jail, but you have no memory of what you did. And they tell you you're in jail because you robbed a bank and you killed somebody. But you have no memory of doing that. And they say that your punishment is, getting stoned every day. And every day you wake up and you get stoned. You get, people throw rocks at you every single day. And they say that it's punishment for what you did, but you have no memory of what you did because you got in a car accident and you have amnesia forever for the rest of your life. Is that fair? Is that fair? What do y'all think? I'm going to scroll down because I want to see these answers. Memories make us who we are. With amnesia, it's like you didn't even do it or it wasn't really fully you. Racy Cranman Girl said, it's not fair. Davy Jones Locker, not repeated stoning. Absolutely not. It's not fair. Blackamore, is it fair? That's the dilemma. That's not fair. It's fair if we're talking retribution. Not fair if it's supposed to be punishment. The Boy in Blue, no, it's not fair. Janae Lovely, no, because you're not the same person after that. The Getting Stoned, no, it's not fair, but you definitely need to sit in that cell. The memory is who we are. With that amnesia, would she do it again? It's like you're punishing a different person. Not fair, in my opinion. Oh, wow, it's hard. It's like 50%. You've had a lot of time to lay out the scenario. Hi, Ori. No, it's not fair. I've thought about it a lot. Listen, I used to watch one episode of Black Mirror and take a break. I used to take, I don't know if you guys remember me talking about it when I first started watching it. I used to take, 2-3 weeks in between episodes because it just used to be, so much stuff in every episode that I really felt like I needed to think about. I would watch one episode and I would take a break. I say no because having amnesia is a punishment in and of itself. Hi, Alien Baby. No, because I feel like that would be used for a select crew later on. You know how that goes. It's not fair. That's a vengeance. So you guys think there's a difference between vengeance and retribution? Or you think there's a difference between retribution and justice, or vengeance and justice? The stoning is a bit much, but I think you should be punished because just because you don't remember something doesn't mean it didn't happen and it didn't affect someone. So you agree that you shouldn't be stoned for it, but you should sit in a cell. I don't think that's fair because anyone could pin any crime on you regardless if you did it. That's dangerous territory. They're drawing it out. They're getting perverse pleasure for it. Just execute. Dislike the punishment because if you don't remember it, dislike the punishment because if you don't remember it, the punishment doesn't hit the way it should have. Bamboo said that's interesting. Some type of responsibility should be taken retrospectively. gets stoned a set amount of time for the crime and then released. It's inhumane. It's just torture. Psychological torture is not okay. As the family member, you'd be like, stone them. Right. So Raise a Crandom Girl is talking about, but what if your family member was the one that got shot? Because remember I said, like, they robbed a bank, they killed a bank teller, and they got away in the getaway car, and then they got in an accident and they lost the memory. So what if your family member was the one that got shot? Would you be like, stone them? Like, I don't care that they don't remember. Interesting setup. I think I would have been more okay with the punishment if they didn't. Oh, you talk about if you still had your memory, but then the punishment wouldn't even work, I guess. The episodes are so much to unpack, Ivy. Like, man, you watch an episode of Black Mirror and then you sit in the dark with a cigarette thinking, like, like, how do I feel about what I just watched? You can't say torture is wrong and then have state govern torture. Especially them first 6 episodes, you need a break. This is like crime and punishment in the eyes of the law. The lines can be blurred. I feel like desiring to torment toes the line of sanity. Memory is falsifiable, though, so the argument can never fully be made that they aren't the same. Stoning is cruel and unusual punishment. Yes, Mar! Seren, watch an episode of Black Mirror, have a sip. Have more than a sip. Have more than a sip. Them episodes will have you thinking. Twilight Zone is one of my favorite shows. Rod Serling was really a genius, and like Black Mirror is the only thing that's even came close in the last 50 years. I'm just not okay with torture. Justice is neutrality. Punishment is the use of power. There's a difference. Right. Right. The not having the memory plays a key part in it. Justice can be a variety of things. I agree with that they shouldn't be stoned, but they should be punished because whether they remember it or not, you took someone's life. At a certain point, the punishment turns into torture. Would your opinions change if it were your family or someone close to you affected by someone who has amnesia? How far does the retribution go? There can be a thin line between vengeance and justice. For it to be fair, you have to be informed of your crimes. I also agree with that because I think that's also why, like, when they arrest you, which we always see in movies, like, they're supposed to tell you your rights. And, like, when you go to court, they're supposed to, like, tell you in advance, like, this is what you're being accused of. If you don't have memory of it, I do think that makes it a slippery slope. Memory is fallible. It doesn't mean that ramifications have not happened. But I've, like, also seen people, like, straight up say, like, no, like, they killed the like, they robbed the bank, they killed the person. It doesn't like, not that exactly because that's hypothetical. I just made that up. But I'm talking about within the frame of what we're talking about, like Black Mirror. They'd be like, well, it doesn't matter. Like, they robbed the bank, they killed the person. Like, they deserve the punishment. It's very interesting. Like, a lot of the episodes of Black Mirror are really designed as, like, I do think of them as sort of like interactive art pieces because they're designed a certain type of way that will really get you thinking and having conversations about the way that people feel about things. That's what convictions are all about, to reflect on your actions. That's also why you don't allow family members on juries. Of course, the family will want vengeance. That doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. Just because you lost your memory doesn't mean it's a whole new you. If you lose your memory of the incident, that doesn't make you a different person. You're still the same person with the same morals and values. You just don't remember that particular event. I wouldn't want the person to suffer over and over. Another question, what is just as a punishment? Shouldn't be stoned, but serving for the damage done. I would still feel bad. I would empathize. I feel like you lose who you are and your entire identity with the amnesia. Isn't that in and of itself a form of death, thus wiping the slate clean? Punishment enough, if you ask me. A couple of you have said you feel like the amnesia was punishment enough. I couldn't condone stoning, even still. I wouldn't want the torture. It's true, and I don't even smoke. That's also why we have insanity pleas. If the person doesn't understand what they did. Oh, that's a good point from the boy in blue. We do have a real life sort of equivalent of that if a person doesn't understand what they did. That's also why we have insanity pleas. If the person doesn't understand what they did, the idea of jail and prison is to rehabilitate, make people realize and learn from what they've done. Some people would disagree with that and say that the idea of jail and prison is not to rehabilitate, it's to punish. Like it's crime and punishment. It's not necessarily crime and rehabilitation, which is why people feel like prisons and jails are inhumane as a concept. What if it's temporary amnesia and they just pretend it's forever? To the dungeon. Watch Black Mirror be having a whole existential crisis. Black Mirror be making me a philosopher. In my opinion, if I was a family member, still no, because I would be like, well, they got what they deserved already. They got into a car accident and have amnesia. I would definitely be that person if it was someone I knew and loved. That's why it's so important to have unbiased jurors. Yeah. Punishment should be given by the parties affected, so I guess I'm on the side of justice does equal vengeance. So you're all about that, the Punisher. Like, you bout it, Roderick. I want to say it has to be a humane punishment, but if you're out here purposely murdering, I don't know, it's really hard to say. So with this conversation, I will say watch Black Mirror. But if y'all get disturbed by this episode, White Bear, don't blame it on me. But if y'all want to watch it and then come back and have a conversation, you can. But no, the punishment is not death. No. The punishment is they put you in the cell and you get stoned every day. They do not kill you. But you're in the cell and they throw rocks at you every day. Every day. Every day. And every day you wake up and they do it again. But they do not kill you. They don't kill you. They purposely do not kill you. I love Twilight Zone, but my family can't stand when I'll watch every single episode. You have a favorite episode? Oh my gosh, favorite Twilight episode is harder because there's so many good ones. I really like Midnight Sun a lot. I really like Eye of the Beholder a lot. The camera one, the magic camera that tells the future. I like all of them. Even as a family member, just rot in the cell. Justice is objective vengeance. Justice is given by society or by design. Vengeance is taken. I'm not necessarily in favor of execution, but it's better than psychological torture. That's literally hell. So if you don't remember, then someone can come in your home and say you did something you can't remember. Should you still be punished? I saw somebody said there was an episode of Law and Order about that, or was it Law and Order or Criminal Minds? Are you guys talking about the one with Frankie Muniz, where he was like the comic book artist and he was like killing those people and didn't remember? Because we've talked about that too on Bees Big. That episode was wild. I've only watched 2 episodes of Black Mirror. If I watch the others, they'll have me sitting in the rain in the middle of nowhere. You'll be sitting there rocking back and forth thinking. White Bear. White Bear is the episode, Shannon. Yes, the guy who set up the pig piece was an artist. Yeah. Yeah. We're talking about like what is considered inhumane, Kayla. Yeah, like what is considered inhumane. Like I said, a lot of people feel like prisons as a concept are inhumane, you know? So kind of just like what Kenneth said, what do we consider to be a just punishment, you know? Because some people might say, oh, it's fine to just... Some people might say, like, oh, it's not appropriate to, like, stone them, but put them in a cell is fine. But then you have some people that say locking people up in cells is inhumane, or they can only get outside for 1 hour a day. That's inhumane. Or putting them in solitary confinement for hours at a time where they're not around other human beings is inhumane. Like, causes people to lose their minds. Like, these things are inhumane. So it's sort of like what Kenneth said, like, what do we consider to be a just punishment for a crime, right? My problem is, what do we value in the situation? How can we say we love and value life, but we're willing to destroy another? Watch it, Mar, and then tell us what you think. Yeah, that's the episode, Shannon. Yeah, that's the episode. They call prisons correctional facilities, so I don't get where people who think it's not about rehabilitation are coming from. I think it's because a lot of people feel like if it's about rehabilitation, then why is there such a thing as a life sentence? Why will you spend life in prison if it's about rehabilitation and release? Why is that a thing? Why do we do executions? Why can you be executed by the state if the whole point of prison is a correctional facility? Isn't that a misnomer? Like, isn't that hypocritical as a concept? Because if the whole thing is about correction and rehabilitation, then why can people spend life in jail or be killed by the state? How is that correction? So a lot of people just feel like it's like the words and the way that we describe our justice system is one thing, but the actions say something else, right? It's about cheap labor. Yeah, I saw Parasite in the theater. Counterintuitive. Counterproductive. That's the word I wanted. Counterproductive. Counterproductive. That's it. That's the word. That's the word. And I just feel like a lot of people in prison reform also feel like if the point is supposed to be correctional facilities and rehabilitation, then prisons would be more educational, like an educational facility. Like if I'm trying to rehabilitate you and correct you and give you better tools and skills or, whatever, I feel like people think that like the whole concept of a prison would be different if that's something that we like really believe in, Where was I think, yeah. I'm sorry, I just want to see a few more of the comments that are up top. Waldo was definitely that pathetic, orange, entitled, dumb asshole whose gross amount of ignorance and arrogance borders on sociopathic. Yeah, that was the motherfucking Waldo moment. Absolutely. I need to get on season 2 of 3%. 3% is great. Agreed. Watch 3%. Love 3%. The class dynamics are amazing. The twist at the end of season 1. Oh, God. 3%. The twist. The twists! The twists! A nice place to visit. The monster. What's the monster one with the little boy? Twilight Zone? That's another really good one. He really went to hell. Wow. So heaven was really hell. Hell was good. 3% season 1 was so good. Brazilian Netflix shows are usually good. Okay, there. That was it. That was the only one I knew I missed a couple. Where was I? Another question: does wanting the bully serve justice or personal entrance? The Long Morrow and Eye of the Beholder. Those are your favorite Twilight Zone episodes, Alien Baby. I also really enjoy I Shot an Arrow into the Air. Really like that one too. Never seen the original Twilight Zone. Lord. Punishment and rehabilitation aren't the same. I have not watched The Man in High Castle, no. I really liked that episode with Frankie Muniz, and it was Criminal Minds. Crazy because he really had amnesia. He had a psychotic break after like them people like killed his fucking pregnant fiance. He had a psychotic break and like killed them. He really didn't remember, but he did fucking murder them. And like violently too. Like life in prison and a sentence are two different things. Especially sadistic punishment in the name of retribution. Call it what it is. Don't excuse abuse just because you get to call it justice. Some people deserve to be locked up because they're that much of a danger to others. Should we offer humanity to murderers? People who actually mean to do it maliciously. Like Raul in fucking Panic Room. I think the current prison system is inhumane for anyone who's committed a nonviolent crime. Complete amnesia, where you don't know who you are, where you're at, and the situation you're in, causes psychological insanity. I was reading this study about muscle memory versus brain memory, and they were talking about how this dude had got basically lobotomized because he was a schizophrenic, and he had really, really, really bad seizures, just like back to back, like he couldn't stop having seizures and convulsing. And so they performed, and they noticed that like the majority of his seizures were coming from like a certain part of his brain. And so they like removed a part of it. They like removed a piece of it, and his seizures like stopped, but he could not remember shit. Like he could not keep a memory after that. His memory was like impacted, but he still had his muscle memory. I was reading this essay on it was about why do you remember how to ride a bike? Even if you haven't ridden a bike for like years and years, like why do you never forget? You can like, it's like certain things you can just like always do once you learn. And they found that this dude like still had his muscle memory. So he couldn't remember anything. Not who he was, not where he was, not where he was yesterday, never remembered the doctors, never remembered anything. But he remembered how to ride a bike. He remembered like his muscle memory stuff was totally fine. And they discovered that like your muscle memory is actually stored in a different part of your brain than your regular memory. And that your like memory capacity is actually like all over, it's like all over your brain. It's like rooms in your brain where you like store different things. Because I remember I also read this other article one time where they said that like the people that you love, especially like friends and family members, you store their names in a certain part of your brain, which is why it's easy for you to mix up the names of like friends, family members, like pets, because like people that like are a certain place in your life, you store all their names in a certain part of your brain. It's like your memory is like everywhere. Like it's like all throughout your fucking head. Muscle memory is a thing. Yeah, like Memento. So it's like multiple USB ports in your brain. Yeah, basically. I think of your brain. This is how I personally like to think of my brain and everyone's brains. Your brain is just like a house with a ton of rooms in it. And some of them you never go in, and some of them you go in it all the time. And some of it you have the fucking doors locked and you never look in there. And some of them you can't go in there because we don't know how to get in that part of the brain yet. And like some of it, if you know you get some blunt force trauma to the brain, it's like that room gets lit on fire and it's not there anymore. You can't go in there. Like certain things like that. But the brain is like nuts. The brain is like so intense. I feel like there's a difference between rehabilitation and corrections, and then there's keeping you locked up for the safety of the public. That's true. Some people cannot be rehabilitated. But if some people are too dangerous to be in society, why not kill them? Kenneth is coming with the hot fire questions for y'all today. Yeah. People who have to be removed from society should still be comfortable and given a decent life. So that's how you feel morally, Remy. When I get to the bottom of these comments, I'll probably let go and you guys can think about all these questions. And if you choose to, you can watch the White Bear episode of Black Mirror if you choose to. And like I said, my other recommendations are Metalhead, Hated in the Nation. You guys should definitely watch that one. Be Right Back and Hang the DJ. Monsters Are Due on Maple Street is probably your favorite Twilight Zone episode. No Twilight Zone, have you ever had a New Year's Day? Time Enough at Last is a classic. We were talking about Clark Sisters. I don't know if you can read, but we've been on for 2 hours. But since you got a problem with it, you'll never have to come back. Enjoy your block. Bye. Maybe you should have been here 2 hours ago when we started. Lateness. And we talked about it. Like, it's called Alliance. Hello. Inhumane is inhumane. If we make sure that prison isn't inhumane to the worst of society, we don't have to worry about decent people falling through the cracks. Who can even decide what is a just punishment? I haven't seen Love, Sex, and Robots. That happens with me in video games I haven't played in years. My fingers remember combos I forget. Because that's stored in the muscle memory of your brain, which is like a totally different place. No more mind talk. My head is whirling. Hi, Meek. We're almost done. We're just chit-chatting. Right, still can't get over the fact people speak in different languages from brain trauma. Like, what? I'm just saying, like, I can see the time. We've been on for over 2 hours. Like, come on now. Get the fuck out of here. Like, we started off talking about Clark Sisters, and we talked about Clark Sisters for a while. It's been 2 hours. Hi, Marcus. So, if you don't like what we're talking about, you could just leave. Which, like, not to get off subject before I go, but that shit is also weird. Like, people be on live every day on Instagram, YouTube, all over. If I fucking, like, somebody Gary, I think, asked about, like, the producer battles on Instagram Live. Like, I was watching the fucking T-Pain versus Lil Jon one. They were on for like 5 hours. Like, when I went in, they weren't playing music. They were drinking and talking. Like, what I look like throwing a fucking fit in the comments. Like, you motherfuckers aren't playing music! Put the music on! Like, bitch, relax. Real fucking relax. Or if I didn't like that they weren't playing music, I could just exit the fuck out. Like, shut up. Right, of course the subject changed. It's a natural flow. We've been on 131 minutes and 40 seconds. Where? Of course the subject changed. Thank you, Shannon. This was a bomb live. I'm gonna rewatch this and take notes. I'm gonna leave it up so you guys can, like, write down all the stuff we talked about. People don't read the room, get with it or get gone. Kill them is just, there's going to be many more people like these ones, and it would seem more conducive to study them, see if the problem can be fixed or what's happening. The Bourne Identity leans heavy into muscle memory as a plot device, and it's awesome. So does The Long Kiss Goodnight, which the Bourne Identity always makes me think of. Like, in The Long Kiss Goodnight, when she's, like, cutting with the knife, because she's, like, a housewife, and she's, like, cutting with the knife, and then she just, like, stab, stab, stab! Like, that's the muscle memory. People be feeling entitled. It's weird. Now I'm gonna watch 3%. The Long Kiss Goodnight is a good movie. The lives go from NY to LA when it comes to topics. Listen, we have talked about feet, ears, toes, mayonnaise, eggs, raisins, roaches, and by roaches I mean pecans. Like, we will talk about everything during the live stream. Like, ain't no rules up in here. Like, it has to have a title. So the title is what it is. I can't go live without a title. So I put the title when I started. I just finished watching the Clark Sisters. That's it. Like, if you don't like it, be gone. Anyways, this is a good one. Anybody that watches Black Mirror, if you guys come back on fucking Sunday, don't be mad at me, but we could talk about it. I could put Long Kiss Goodnight on the list because Samuel L. Jackson's one of the main characters, so we could definitely watch that. All right, I'll see you guys next time, which the next live will be Sunday. Bye. Oh, and the movie is Perfect Stranger with Halle Berry. Bye.